Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to be your host today. So, for the next little while, I want you to just think of me as your personal, expert German language tutor, because we are embarking on a pretty special storybook adventure together. Listen, if you've ever completely frozen up when trying to speak German, or maybe you're staring down the barrel of the B2 exam right now and feeling, well, completely overwhelmed, let me tell you, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we are going to conquer those fears. We're going to transform your German from a hesitant, quiet whisper into a confident, totally fluent conversation. Sound good? Let's get into it.
Here is our map for today's adventure. First up, we'll look at the fluency mindset. Next, we'll cover your daily German habits. Then, we're going to tackle the B2 speaking challenge, followed by upgrading your vocabulary. And finally, we'll wrap up with your daily fluency checklist.
Starting off with Section 1, the fluency mindset and overcoming the fear of making mistakes.
Okay, let's dive straight into the training ground and confront the biggest dragon that literally every language learner faces. You know, the absolute #1 rule for fluency is that you have to stop worrying about being perfect. As our source material beautifully points out, Fehler gehören zum Lernprozess dazu. Mistakes are simply a part of the learning process. Honestly, if you aren't making mistakes, you just aren't learning. It's like a small child learning to walk, right? They stand up, they wobble a bit, they fall down, but with every single fall, they're learning something brand new about balance. And eventually, they run. Speaking German is exactly the same. When you speak and make a mistake, either you notice it yourself or someone gently corrects you, and boom, you've leveled up.
Think about it like this. Imagine you want to say you're going to the market tomorrow to buy vegetables, and you just blurt out, Ich gehe morgen in den Markt, Gemüse zu kaufen. Now, are there grammatical errors in there? Yeah, for sure. It should be Ich gehe, not Ich gehen, and zum Markt, not in der Markt. But here is the absolute secret. Any native speaker will completely understand your intent. And that's what matters. Communication always beats perfection. Trying to speak with zero grammar mistakes is literally just going to paralyze you. Trust that over time and with practice, you will naturally start to self-correct.
Moving on to Section 2, your daily German habits, 5 steps to everyday fluency. So, our sources highlight 5 core steps for building a rock-solid foundation. We've already talked about accepting mistakes. Step 2, though, might actually surprise you. You do not need thousands of complex words to get started. You really just need a solid base of about 400 keywords. That's roughly 100 nouns, adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. If you combine those with your basic pronouns and articles, you can survive almost any daily conversation. It's true. Step 3 is active listening and imitating. Step 4 is speaking aloud, and Step 5 is integrating German into your daily life.
So the crucial point here is actively imitating what you hear. It is not enough to just sit there and listen passively. When you're watching a video or listening to a podcast, try pausing it after a sentence and repeating it exactly as you heard it. Let's take this sentence for example. Gestern war ich mit ein paar Kumpels im Café und wir haben einen Kaffee getrunken. I actually challenge you right now. Pause this explainer and repeat that sentence out loud. Try to match my rhythm, match my emphasis. This kind of simple mimicry trains your brain's language rhythm. And the best part is, you don't even need to study complex phonetic rules to do it.
Now, Step 5 is all about daily integration. We need to stop treating German like a stressful high school subject and start making it a part of your actual lifestyle. Change your phone's language setting to German. Maybe watch a quick German news clip while you're eating your breakfast. A fantastic tip from our sources, and one of my personal favorites, is to simply talk to yourself out loud when you're alone. Just describe what you're doing or what you're planning for the day. You can even record these little self-conversations on your phone and listen back. It's a great way to spot where you might be pausing a bit too long or stumbling over certain words.
All right, Section 3, the B2 speaking challenge, the real-world quest.
Okay, here is your scenario, kind of like the boss level of this adventure. You and a partner have to plan a trip for a group of seniors, aged 60 and older, traveling through Germany, Austria, or Switzerland. The absolute key to acing this is identifying the constraints. The word seniors is your biggest clue here. You obviously can't just plan some wild, exhausting backpacking trip through the Alps. You really have to structure a program that is appropriate, safe, and comfortable for that specific age group if you want to score those high marks.
Let's move to Section 4, upgrading your B2 vocabulary, or as I like to call it, gathering your supplies.
And this brilliantly illustrates the exact difference between merely surviving a conversation and completely acing a B2 exam. Think about a basic A2 or B1 phrase like, Es gibt viele Städte, meaning there are many cities. I mean, it's correct, sure, but it's pretty simple.
But if we upgrade it to a B2 level, we get Das Land hat viel zu bieten, or the country has a lot to offer. Swapping out those simple everyday phrases for slightly more advanced idiomatic expressions instantly signals to your examiner that you have a much richer command of the language.
And we can do the exact same thing with individual words. Instead of using a basic word like anstrengend for exhausting, you could use the much more sophisticated synonym strapaziös. Or, when you're adding a new point to your travel plan, instead of always falling back on außerdem for furthermore, try upgrading to des Weiterhin. These little vocabulary swaps might seem small, but they make your itinerary planning sound incredibly professional and polished.
Now, for a scenario like the senior trip, you're going to need an essential B2 glossary. Take a phrase like das leibliche Wohl. It's a fantastic, high-level phrase that basically means taking care of the guest's food and physical well-being. Using a strong verb like sicherstellen instead of just throwing in machen shows you can confidently ensure their safety. And Yemenon Shonen means to treat someone with consideration or, take it easy on them, which is absolutely perfect for explaining why you booked a fast, super comfortable train for your senior group instead of a really bumpy, tiring bus ride.
So let's see how these Redemittel, those handy phrases you use to structure your dialogue, actually build into a real conversation. Because this is a collaborative task, right? You really need to structure that back and forth effectively. You need to ask your partner's opinion using phrases like Was hältst du davon? You need to elegantly agree with them using Damit bin ich einverstanden. And if you start integrating double connectors like sowohl als auch for both and, it makes the planning flow just incredibly naturally, which is going to earn you massive points for interactive communication.
Finally, let's hit Section 5, your daily fluency checklist. Time to track your adventure.
I highly encourage you to take a screenshot of this checklist right now. Make it your daily action plan. Ask yourself every day, did you speak German out loud today? Did you listen to and actively repeat 3 sentences to practice your natural rhythm? Did you use just one new B2 word like sicherstellen? Did you consume German media for 10 minutes? And honestly, most importantly, did you make a mistake and accept it without getting frustrated? Remember, it's the consistent, small, daily steps that are exactly what lead to true mastery.
Which brings us to the end of today's explainer. I really want to leave you with this final provocative thought. What is the one step that you will take today to make German a part of your daily story? Are you going to change your phone language right now? Will you record yourself talking about your lunch plans? The path to B2 fluency, it isn't some giant mountain that you have to leap over in one bound. It's just a series of small, confident steps. So, embrace the mistakes, gather up your vocabulary supplies, and just start walking. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.